Watch any model train and you'll see this. One number going down. Everything else, the weight changing, the epochs ticking by, and the GPU heating up. All of it exists to push this single number lower. And it's not accuracy. It's actually something underneath accuracy. It's called the loss. And here's the part nobody tells you when you start. You don't really choose what your model learns by writing clever code. You choose it by choosing this single number. The loss function is a goal you hand the machine. Pick the right one, and a model learns exactly what you wanted. Pick the wrong one, and a perfectly trained, technically flawless model will optimize the wrong thing beautifully, confidently, but completely useless. And by the end of this video, you'll know what the loss actually measures, the handful of loss functions you'll use again and again, and how to avoid the mistake that quietly ruins real models. So let's get into it. Let's start with the simplest possible definition and build up from there. A loss function is a model's report card. It's graded after every single guess. Here's a loop you already know from the last few videos. The model makes a prediction. We compare that prediction to the real answer. And the loss function turns how far off were into a single number. Big numbers means that we were really wrong. Small numbers means that we were quite close. And zero means that we were perfect. And that's it. The loss is just a number that measures how wrong the model currently is. And training, all of it is a process of pushing that number down step by step using gradient descent. And here's the thing that makes loss functions interesting and important. There's more than one way to grade it. Here's an idea that sounds obvious but quietly breaks real AI systems. A model becomes exactly as good as the number you grade it on. No better, no different. Exactly that. Let me show you with darts. Imagine teaching someone to throw darts, blindfolded, and after every throw, you give them one piece of feedback, just one number. That number is the only thing guiding them. Now, grade them honestly. Measure the distance from the bullseye. Big distance, which means a bigger number. The thrower learns to make that number smaller, and slowly, throw by throw, they drift towards that center and they get better at it. But watch what happens if you grade them lazily. Say you only tell them one thing. Did it hit the board or not? Yes or no? Now, a dart 1 inch from the bullseye and a dart clinging to the very outer edge score exactly the same. Both are yes, from the thrower's point of view. There's no reason to aim any better. They're already winning by the only measure that counts. They will become brilliant at hitting the board and terrible at hitting the target. And that's the whole danger of a loss function. It is a definition of success you hand the model. The model doesn't know what you mean. It optimizes the number you actually gave it, taken completely literally. So the question is never just, did my model train well? It's, did I grade it on the right thing? Because it will get exactly as good as that number and not one bit better. Okay, so the loss function is a goal, and choosing it matters enormously. Let's look at the ones you'll actually use, because there are really just two families to understand first, and they map onto the two kinds of problems you'll face. The first family is for when you're predicting a number, predicting a house price, a temperature, a stock value. We call this regression problems. And the classic loss here is mean squared error. The idea is quite simple. For each prediction, you measure the gap between what you guessed and the truth, and then you square that gap. Then, finally, you average all of those squared gaps. That's the mean squared error. So, why square it? Well, there are two reasons, and they're worth understanding. The first is squaring makes every error positive. A guess that's too high and the one that's too low both count as error instead of cancelling out. Second, and more importantly, squaring punishes big mistakes as much harder than smaller ones. Being off by 2 isn't twice as bad as being off by 1. It's now 4 times as bad. And being off by 10 is 100 times as bad. So, mean squared error makes your model terrified of large errors. It would rather be a little wrong on everything than badly wrong on one thing. Sometimes that's exactly what you want. And sometimes, if your data has weird outliers, it's probably not. And you'd reach for a gentler cousin that doesn't overreact. But mean square error is your default, and now you know what it's really doing. The second family is for when you're predicting a category. Is this email spam or not? Is this image a cat, a dog, or a bird? These are classification problems, and the loss here is called cross entropy. In simple terms, cross entropy works on confidence. Your model doesn't just say cat, it says, I'm 90% sure it's a cat. Cross entropy looks at how much confidence the model put on the correct answer. If it said 90% on the right answer, small loss, which is good. If it said 20% on the right answer, it's a big loss. And here's the key behavior. Cross entropy punishes this confident wrong answers brutally. If the model says, I'm 99% sure this is a cat and it actually a dog, the loss skyrockets. That's intentional and it's beautiful. It teaches the model not to just be right, but to be appropriately confident. A model that's wrong and humble is forgivable. A model that's wrong and arrogant gets hammered. And that's exactly the behavior you want. So there's your core toolkit. Predicting a number, you use mean squared error. And if you're predicting a category, you use cross entropy. Those are the two that cover most of what you'll be doing for a very long time. And almost every fancier loss is a variation of these ideas. Now, let me connect this back to everything that you have learned, because this is where it all clicks together. Remember gradient descent, the whole walking downhill idea? Here's a piece that was secretly missing. The hill is the loss function, the landscape we were descending, the valley we walked into. The surface is literally drawn by the loss you choose. Changing the loss function and you change the shape of the hill. You change where the bottom is and you change what downhill even means. So the loss function isn't just a scorekeeper sitting off to the side. It's a thing that defines the entire landscape your model walks across during training. Choose a different loss, and your model walks towards a different destination, even with the exact same data. That's why this is a foundations topic and why it's the last one before we start building real networks. Loss is a bridge between here's what I want the model to do, and here's the math that makes it happen. So let's bring it home. You came in watching one number tick down without really knowing what it was. Now you know. The number is the loss. It's the model's report card and it's the actual goal you're handling the machine. So, a quick recap. The loss is a single number measuring how wrong the model is, and training pushes it down. A model becomes exactly as good as the number you grade it on. So, choosing the loss is choosing the goal. Predicting a number, then you use mean squared error. It fears big mistakes. Predicting a category, you use cross entropy. It punishes its confident wrong answers. And the loss function is literally the shape of the hill that gradient descent walks down. And here's your one next step. Next time you look at any model, a tutorial, a paper, your own project, find what loss function it uses and ask one question. What is this number actually rewarding? And what is it quietly ignoring? That single habit will teach you more about how a model really behaves than any accuracy score ever will. That closes out the foundations. You now have the complete toolkit: what AI is, the math, how models learn, how they fail, and what they're chasing. In the upcoming videos, we put it all to work, the full machine learning pipeline, from raw data to a model you can actually trust. If this made loss functions finally click, do like the video and consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. God bless.